Listen carefully, because what I'm about to explain will change how you look at trading forever. Most traders are not failing because they chose the wrong strategy. They are failing because they are operating on the wrong time frame. And more importantly, they are using the wrong mindset for that time frame. Today, we're going to combine two things that most people never connect properly: psychology and the H4 timeframe. Because the truth is simple. The H4 timeframe is one of the most powerful tools for intraday trading, but only if your psychology is aligned with it. If it's not, it will frustrate you, confuse you, and drain your account slowly. Let's start with the reality most traders ignore. Every time frame has its own psychology. The 1-minute chart creates urgency. The 5-minute chart creates noise. The 15-minute chart creates impatience. And the H4 chart? The H4 chart demands discipline. It forces you to slow down. It forces you to think. It forces you to wait. And that's exactly why most traders avoid it, because waiting is uncomfortable. Now here's the problem. Most traders say they want consistency, but their behavior shows the opposite. They jump from one time frame to another. They chase setups. They react to every movement. And then they wonder why their results are inconsistent. Let me make this very clear. If your psychology is impulsive, you will naturally gravitate toward lower time frames because they give you action, they give you excitement, they give you constant feedback, but they also give you more opportunities to make mistakes. The H4 time frame removes that. It limits your decisions, it reduces noise, and it forces you to be selective. Now let's talk about why the H4 time frame is ideal for intraday trading. First, it filters out noise. On lower time frames, price movements are chaotic. Small fluctuations look like opportunities, but most of them are meaningless. On H4, those movements disappear. You only see what matters: structure, trend, and momentum. And that clarity changes your decision-making. Second, the H4 time frame improves emotional control. When you trade lower time frames, you are constantly watching the market. Every tick feels important. Every move triggers a reaction. But on H4, you don't need to watch constantly. You analyze, you plan, and then you wait. This creates emotional distance, and emotional distance leads to better decisions. Third, the H4 time frame aligns with natural market cycles. Each candle represents meaningful activity, institutional movement, liquidity shifts, real momentum. This is not random noise. This is where real decisions are made in the market. And when you align with that, your edge improves. Now, here's where psychology becomes critical. Because even when traders understand the power of H4, they still fail to use it correctly. Why? Because their mindset is still stuck in lower time frames. They analyze H4, but execute emotionally. They enter too early. They exit too quickly. They second-guess their plan. That's a psychological problem, not a technical one. Let's break down the main psychological mistakes traders make on H4. The first is impatience. You identify a setup on H4. It looks clean. It aligns with your plan. But instead of waiting for confirmation, you drop down to lower time frames. You start looking for early entries. You convince yourself the move is about to happen, and you enter too soon. Then the market pulls back. Now you're in drawdown. And instead of trusting your analysis, you panic. That's impatience destroying a good setup. The second mistake is over-monitoring. H4 trading does not require constant attention, but most traders still watch every tick. They open lower time frames. They react to small movements. They interpret noise as meaningful signals. And this creates confusion, because now you have conflicting information. H4 says hold, lower time frame says exit, and most traders choose emotion over logic. The third mistake is lack of trust. You analyze H4, you create a plan, but once you're in the trade, you don't trust it. You doubt your decision, you question every movement, and eventually you exit early. Then the trade plays out exactly as expected. This is one of the most frustrating experiences in trading, and it's entirely psychological. The fourth mistake is inconsistent execution. Some trades you follow your plan, others you don't. Sometimes you wait for H4 confirmation, other times you jump in early. This inconsistency destroys your results because your system never gets a chance to play out. Now let's talk about how to fix this, because understanding the problem is not enough. You need a system that aligns your psychology with the H4 timeframe. First, you must redefine your role as a trader. You are not here to react. You are here to execute a plan. The H4 timeframe is not about speed, it's about precision. You analyze at candle close. You make decisions based on completed information, not speculation. This alone will eliminate a huge amount of emotional trading. Second, you must create time boundaries. If you are trading H4, you do not need to check charts every minute. You check at candle close. That's it. This reduces screen time, and more importantly, it reduces emotional exposure, because the more you watch, the more you react. Third, you must accept delayed gratification. H4 trading is slower. Trades take time to develop, but that's the advantage, because slower trades are often cleaner trades, less noise, better structure, more clarity. But you must be willing to wait, and most traders struggle with this because they are addicted to action. Now here's the final shift. Stop thinking like a reactive trader. Start thinking like a patient operator. Your job is not to be busy, your job is to be effective. And effectiveness comes from clarity, discipline, and control. So if you want to improve your trading, don't just change your strategy, change your time frame. And more importantly, change your mindset to match that time frame. Because the H4 chart will give you clarity, but only if your psychology allows you to use it correctly. If you are impulsive, it will frustrate you. If you are patient, it will reward you. That's the difference. So the next time you open your charts, ask yourself this: am I trading with discipline, or am I chasing movement? Because that answer determines everything. Master the H4 time frame, and you don't just improve your entries, you improve your thinking. And when your thinking improves, your results follow.